He gets 1xN with the rocket from Haichao, but TT now trying to chase down Chaoya, and that's the bane of the Callista existence. He's gonna have to flash.
And once again, LGD ends up buying time, or do they? Both TPs coming right back in.
God, the double Avenger beams, but Hoya does immediately turn around. They got the super minions here, and LGD will not have a moment's breath while the siege continues.
Gonna try and get this last inhib. I think it's a good call, right? Just get the base in order where you have as many supers as you can, and then just look for the push again.
Minions have spawned.
Haichao has hit his 4th item. He's on the GA now. So honestly, if there's any damage, any potential, Haichao's got it. And I love that we set that up at the very beginning. But UCal, he does make a big difference here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the engage timing from LGD because they want to go for this engage before that wave of supers mid has to pull someone to answer. This fight ends up being close because at the very start of the fight, actually Chocho and 1xN sadly were missing so many of their skill shots, but they end up bringing it back. Baytron running in, they're able to force the flash in front of the Ezreal Q. And yeah, it definitely felt like that fight could have gone further in TT's favor. But I think just nice job with LGD realizing the timing so the team didn't get pulled apart by those moves.
TT gonna instantly start the Baron here. Looks like they can burn it so ridiculously fast, as you see here. Point and center. LGD trying to get in there. Meteor, he might just go for a steal. He's got the improved blast cone. He's in there. Can he get it? He doesn't. Denied by base one. As the keeper's verdict has been used, TT make it out, and they're now pushing the mid lane. They could go for their soul, though, if they want to.
Looks like they're going to send UCal to do that alone. I think it's a good choice. You have 2 lanes of supers to rely on.
What I did caught both of them. Oh my god, they're going to catch both Burnal and Jin out here. They were just trying to get back to their base, and they are left out to the wolves.
Yeah, they end up going down. Dragon gets taken. They have 2 waves, 2 lanes of super minions. They have Baron. There's no way. This shouldn't be a game-ending push. Mixon is incredibly low, though. But so there isn't a world. There's no way this game drags on, right?
We had it's dragged on more than I think we could have ever thought it could. They had like a 10,000 gold lead at 17 minutes in the game. We're almost 30 minutes in now. I think LGD have a lot to be proud of fighting to the last breath. But TT are taking that last breath right out of their lungs as Xiaoya gets brought back and the deaths start piling on. TT, they've opened up the series 1-0 and in dominant fashion over LGD. There's one last gasp from Haichao, but he's shut down and the Nexus falls.
I just want to believe that TT were streaming BLG a ton this week and they absorbed it all. They took in all the knowledge, and my God, what a dominant game from TT. Seriously, I would not have believed, the result would have come about this way if anyone told me beforehand. Great win for them.
Yeah, and it all started off with, first, the play, I feel like, towards the top side, but UCal, my man. The man on the Talia looking oh so good. He's probably going to get MVP. We'll find out after a short little break. We're going to go away. We'll be back for game number 2.
It is good to unknown my limbs. Forest? I am the forest.
An enemy has been slain.
Taunts my every move, yet I resist. stop. The forest needs me.
An enemy has been slain.
The shadow has fallen, as men have fallen. The city splinters.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Cannot find peace, not even in the smallest branch. I will show them what was lost in the ruination. What have you wrought, mortals? I once had peace. It is better to have purpose.
5 legends of our realm who sought to follow the path.
Stand back. There is wrong within.
There is but one thing left to do. Heavy metal.
The city splinters.
An enemy has been slain.
I do nature's bidding.
You have slain an enemy. Shut down. An ally has been slain. have slain an enemy.
Once in a while. Now you're only in my way. You're the
Killing spree.
Before
Killing spree. An ally has been slain.
all the same. I will trample.
Rampage. An ally has been slain.
Fight for the saplings. Reckless mortals. One with
Welcome back, everyone, to the LPL 2024 I'm about to hear it. And what a game one that was. What a record book and full time. As it was very one-sided game for TT over LG.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, the gold draft represents it. It was an insane game for TT. UCal especially, like, we don't even need to guess who the MVP is. This man's going to pick it up because he was moving all over the place, setting up 1xz, setting up Chocho, making his way up to top side. Like, some creative plays, right? H1 invading top side jungle. UCal at that moment goes and dives bot, playing both sides of the map, and it ends up paying off. So, yeah, really fun game. Really nice, clean series from TT.
And you can see there almost a perfect game. Gave over a dragon and some kills, but literally nothing else. Hai Chao tried his best. He was the only one kind of trying to keep pace with TT, but UCal set that pace and he set it well.
I think there was nothing else the other LGD members could do, honestly. Just nothing they could do with how fast they fell down. But like you said, UCal picking it up. I'm telling you, Talia Hui, you let this guy get these champions, you're actually going to have chances 2-win games. Great showing by him on this one. Which is also interesting, right? Because it's not necessarily like they play the same way. But yeah, just finding comfort. I really loved his use of the Weaver's Wall in this game and how willing he was to move for his team. So we'll see if UCal and TT are able to keep up this level of aggression in the next one.
This was the attempted comeback play, the moment that I feel like LGD probably looked the brightest, but TT still slammed that door shut real fast. It started off with getting kills on bottom side. I think using some of the stuff that you had called out in the drafts, especially the double marksman composition on the bottom side, bringing JoJo back to a place of prominence. It worked out well.
Yeah, it was really nice seeing him on the Ezreal, right? Finally, a lot of control over the 2v2 in bot lane. And all of TT just was looking comfortable. And it's interesting, too, because it's not even in the same way of how we characterized TT's success in previous years, where it was UCal and the posse. This game was just kind of about UCal being the solo posse and enabling all his teammates. A bit of the reverse of how TT used to finally...
You get a gang. You get a gang. You get a gang.
Yeah, it's like he was the jungler in Daejuan.
Was also the jungler?
Maybe more of a support, right? Because a lot of his value was coming in from denying people from coming. I mean, Daejuan, I'm not sure he's brutal in this game. Might come out bad. So I think I like they put him on the utility role, right? Just have it to where he has to focus on that stuff. It's not about a bunch of damage coming in. It's not about some crazy ganks that he has to set up. He was a role player in the comp, and it worked well.
We're back to Shanghai, and we're in it to win it for game number 2. Can LGD find a comeback after a devastating loss in game 1? We have the same sides for game 2, so now change that up a little bit. You have the Ashe, the Illusion, and that Renata band sneaking in there, as well as the Aatrox band plus the Karma for TT on the red side.
I'm telling you, LGD are sweating bullets. They see the Aatrox band, face and hands confused. But if there is a band-aid to not knowing what to do, in my opinion, Smolder's that band-aid. Don't do it, LGD. Well, they moved away from the band. I mean, like, I much prefer the Ballista coming through, because it means, once again, we hopefully get some action down in that bot lane, rather, whether it's in the actual 2v2 or it means like some potential dives can come through. It means, once again, we're going to get some volume. We're going to get some
Enemy has been slain.
LGD are saying it was a fluke in game number 1. It was not the problem of the Kalista Renata. As I do wonder. Okay, so we will just get the traditional engaged support build roam out there for JoJo. And there you go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Talia there for you, Cal.
And it makes sense, right? Just go right back to the picks to make sure you're able to follow through. Now, with LGD and where they want to look, honestly, you could look for a potential early mid pick here. I was going to say the Ahri, the Hui also being another thing that's still open that would be able to help you get that prio with the range advantage you have. It seems like they're going to want to funnel more into being able to look for picks, look for skirmishes, and be able to fight off the enemy team. Ooh, that would have been a fun one. Wouldn't have made a lot of sense in terms of the 2v2, but I really enjoyed when teams support into more pick. I mean, you already have the Callisto, right? So you're kind of setting up more for playing around neutrals like Dragon and Baron, setting up for actual team fights. It seems like the bar that we were seeing last week as well. But we're gonna round out with the Alistar, so making sure they have some disengaged ability to be able to go in.
Here, we just get the tanky boy being thrown into the mix with the face call there. So I like this play, definitely different from the Renata combo, but again, this goes back to what I talked about, and I love Jin Tao on any in-game, any potential roamers, that's what I want this guy on. Get that one. Locked in yet again for
An enemy
TT.
has been slain.
Now we're looking at LGD and where they can go. Taking away the Vi right off the bat. So this one's potentially going to go for, another AD carry that is immobile. Of course, things like the Senna are still open. We've seen teams leaning into more niche things like the Athelios has seen a bit of a resurgence in recent days, things like that. So I like the ban of the Vi. Now LGD. I mean, honestly, you probably just want to keep pinching out AD carry, right? there's already so many bans in that first rotation, so taking away the Smolder and not wanting TT to have the insurance policy is a bit of a fun one. I mean, you also have the Poppy there that would provide the peel for the Smolder to potentially be able to make it to that point too.
Get the Vi locked away though. That's a great follow-up with the Ariel locked in relatively. Anything that's going to provide Meteor, Haichao, good synergy, you want to take away. Anything that can lock down anybody for a perfect charm, definitely want to take that away as well. So Jace is that final ban though for TT on the side. We'll see what LGD want to take away now. Potentially some more ADC bans towards that Callisto lane. No, it's the Renekton. So LGD have learned from their scars.
If they just want to go for some easy top lane prio, I think the Azir, just always comes to mind, makes sense, has an easier time ever since Conte nerfs come through. The FLS, what I assume is going to get locked in, 1xN especially, has been a player who's like coming before his debut in the LPL. It's his second most played champion, even this split, but they do decide to go for the Senna pivot in the end.
Alright, so land on the back so proactive in that first game. Curious, they want to go completely the opposite way here. I think Cal's still going to have very heavy roaming power out of it. Different shade of
They end up going for good easier. Bring out the Kindred. This will be his third game of it so far. This split hasn't a win on the pick just yet.
Has been destroyed.
Conte is going to be locked in. Makes a lot of sense, right? You have the CC to be able to enable your team. So 5v5 from LGD is really solid. Ariel's going to give some potential to maybe set up Meteor early on in the game. I love this
pick available. There it is.
I think Diego,
the flex.
It just makes a lot of sense, right? You have the Senna, which is going to enable him even more to be able to pop off, keep him healthy with that Q, have the ultimate available for when he's jumping in deep. Of course, the first from Talia to set up for the ult. So, yeah, overall, I like both comps. It looks like it's going to be a fun game with a lot of 5v5 potential in it. And it feels like, once again, it's going to come down to a difference in the zone. The bot lane 2v2 for the side of LGD, where for TT, we're looking at mid-jungle.
Yeah, I love the way that TT have laid this plan out because they, had us going. Like, oh, why are you grabbing this center here? Oh, it's because we want to give Beitwan sticks here. Give him the possibility to have a carry performance. I really like the duality of Kindred versus Diego, and I think Meteor is going to have to step up big time if he wants to bridge the gap right now that TT has set in front of them. And it's a big one. That first game, definitely not something you want to have happen to you as a pro player, but you got to bounce back. You got to find a way into it. It's the best of 3. There is a potential for the comeback in a game, in a series. That is important for the standings for both these two teams. They need those miracle runs, and it starts with a win here.
Exactly. They are relying on other teams to fail for them to be able to make those runs, but no reason to give up just yet. LGD going to try and bring it back. Have drafted much more exciting, aggressive composition with these 3 carries in jungle mid and AD carries. So we'll see themselves. Can they bring it back?
They've got the Callisto round 2 here. See if they can make it work for a second time. And if it'll be a redemption game for LGD, or if TT just lead us off in Shanghai with a 2-0 victory and move themselves to 5 and 8. We're on to the Rift and on to the Giants.
This taunts my every move, yet I resist.
Like you said, right now,
The city of splinters.
I feel rude now, myself. I interrupted
you're
the
very
Giants,
rude.
but
Very rude.
to throw some criticism back, not take all the blame. It's a bit of a long pause. It's a bit of a long pause.
Okay, but after what happened in game number 1, I don't know, man. Like, I was afraid there were going to be nobody here.
But I'll give it this, right? You said it. If TT win this, they'll be at 5 and 8, which means they'll only be 1 series win behind the current teams in playoffs, right? OMG Lego sitting at 6 wins. But to remind everyone, to remind the TT faithful out there, after this series, they play WE, then Top Esports, then FPS. Not getting the
I hear that's a problem for TT, okay? This isn't this is a now thing, okay?
You know, I should love, as a huge procrastinator myself, I love that mindset. So I'm with you. You know what? If TT can do this, game 1 against LGD, why couldn't they do it against top esports?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Their team's in the LPL, same thing. I do think there is a vast, big difference in the approach to bot lane this game, right? And I think UCal getting off the map early, at least, or out of the mid lane early is still important. But you're playing a lot more on the back foot for TT's bot lane this time.
Yeah, I like that they've noticed that they can contest level 1, right? They're going up against an Alistar. It was a great job of them playing on the back half of those trades to equal out the health. But like you said, it's going to be down to a lot of the roaming from UCal if we want to see TT set up for a similar success. So the fact that he's off to already finding some solid trades, maintaining prio and mid is a good start for TT.
Something from last game was that vertical jungling style that Beitwan initiated early. This time, not so much, but we do get hero starts at least.
Beitwan actually being 2-0 on the Viego, so complete opposite of Meteor on the Kindred coming into this one. But at least Kindred, right, you think of things like the Lamb's Respite, could potentially shut down Beitwan from being able to find the resets later on in fights. So that's why I'm looking at this game a little bit better for LGD. I think having more tools to be able to work with to fight against what TT have brought to the table. So far, not really seeing that from either side. Of course, LGD have to try on bot, TT have to try on top. Both junglers passing accordingly.
Knocked out in that level 3 yet. Big difference from last game. He was down here just in case, but unfortunately he has missed out on the 50-50. RNG will not be in his favor.
I feel like I always see the Kindred get absolutely rinsed in the Scuttlecraft game.
Maybe Myrtle here as Beitwan has come over and not able to find damage to follow it up.
See, Myrtle did get rinsed, but not as rinsed as
Yeah, life is so
exactly. he got his hands washed, I guess. You know, it's a positive.
You just have somebody grab your hands, put them under the water, wash them, and walk away.
You know, that's what the downside is, right? Is that it felt very uncomfortable and awkward for him. And that's what cost him the ghost in the HP.
Life lessons, I guess, learned on the Rift here. What happens? As we did get that little... Chocho, that's really rough here. The red stack's going to snack it up here. Meteor, so far an angle will be spotted out by the ward. 1xN and Chochos need to be a little careful.
I like to thank the game. They had the warrior information that's there. First step, Cal's one of them.
So at least off to some sort of move there. He knew he was there. Meteor also knew. There's a knock up here. Toto, he's just a little Nautilus. It has a lot of red stacks in it. Actually won't get them pulled out by Xiaoya. And that should just mean the Dragon LGD's favor while the Rift Hair, or at least Telegrubbies rather.
So far, both teams really committing to play around the side here a bit strong. TT not looking for any sort of early 3v3, which I think makes sense, right? Play to get your Viego to speed out of the super incredibly strong field. And just keep enabling Koya. As long as LGD don't get too far ahead, right? I mean, sure, they have a CS lead. They haven't been able to take any plates just yet. We'll see, especially Tai Chow's at level 6 now, if they start converting this into any more aggression down towards that bot lane.
Same on the other side, though. I mean, UCal's going to have to weave the ball now. I like this move for Meteor, though. They did get the spawn of the mark over here on the Gromp. He knew that Beitwan was in his jungle on the top side of the map. So there you go. He gets his second mark.
Yeah, we'll see if TT can go for any place towards top side, right? It's always a bit riskier when you're facing that Cassante. She has his ult, but LGD now going to go for some dive on Quan.
That's a level advantage. 1xN just makes his way out of there. Chocho not so lucky. 1xN, he's coming back in to save his support, and they get one back. Huge. As now, oh my god, Meteor! The flash forward in 1xN. He's got that killer instinct, baby.
And it goes horribly wrong for LGD. losing out on their own play. At the same time, Beichuan farming just fine his top side. Winning out around the map, the edge jungle, staying neutral.
Cal was moving too. He was ready to go that prolonged at all. I love 1xN turning around right here.
He did, right? Backs up and goes inside and throws out the blue. He will do against one. Under the turret. When Nautilus goes down, allows him to come through 1xN jumping in.
So Dazzle was tanking, but then they got stuck on each other, and Meteor started tanking, and now CT are going back to Deja Vu from game number 1, and they are dogpiling on Bertle.
Your team has destroyed.
I mean, finding another one, nice dive.
Shut down.
I was a bit scared at first when Yukao walls in and was right in front of Bertle. It's like, hey, you can just you right over your wall and then run away. But luckily, I think it was a stunt for Beichuan coming out, giving him time to reposition. GG now. Round 2.
A summoner
They
has
learned their
disconnected.
lesson on how to dive this.